Companies want to hire people with outstanding critical thinking skills. Universities want to train students to be skilled critical thinkers. But what does it mean to cultivate critical thinking? A first step in cultivating critical thinking is, of course, to define it. At the Smith School, here's what we mean by critical thinking. There are 8 elements that skilled decision makers use to effectively evaluate complex problems. We'll go through each one briefly in turn. Purpose, objective. What am I trying to accomplish? What is the purpose of the reasoning? Questions at issue. What are the key questions I'll need to think through? Assumptions. What am I taking for granted that might not be correct? Points of view. What other perspectives should I consider? Are there other stakeholders or other opinions on this issue that are important? Information. What data, information, or evidence do I need to answer the key questions at issue? Concepts. What concepts, ideas, and frameworks can guide my thinking? Which concepts from this class are relevant to thinking through this problem? Inferences. What inferences am I making from the evidence? Are there other reasonable interpretations one could make of the same evidence? Implications. If my reasoning is correct, what consequences would follow? What recommendations would I make based on my analysis of the problem? Note, you don't need to apply all 8 elements of critical reasoning to improve the quality of the thinking. Even just focusing on one of these elements can help to improve the quality of the reasoning. For example, ask, what are the key concepts at issue here, and how do these concepts fit together? You probably have already noticed that these 8 elements of critical reasoning will help in analyzing a business case. What is it that the company is trying to understand? What are the key questions you think they need to think through? And what information would you need to answer those questions? Critical thinking is necessary for mastering any complex problem or topic. Use the elements of critical thinking to analyze a current events article or even a blog post. For example, what is the purpose of the author in writing that blog post? What is the evidence the author uses to make the case? What is the author assuming to be true that might not be true? Use the 8 elements of critical reasoning to get more out of a textbook chapter, too. What's the purpose of the chapter? What are the most important concepts in the chapter? How do those concepts fit together? What evidence does the textbook author provide that these concepts are important? You should infuse these elements of critical thinking in everything you're doing in your classes. What is the purpose of the day's lecture? What are the key questions at issue? What are the implications of the concepts presented? At the Smith School, we want our students to cultivate their critical thinking skills in every course they take. Applying the elements of critical reasoning will help our students learn more and excel in solving complex problems both at Smith and in the workplace.